All right, how about a college football film study? Don't make too many of these, but you know what? I heard a lot about the Caleb Williams 3-interception day for USC, so I figured, hey, why don't I watch the film, give my thoughts on it, and yeah, it wasn't a good game. Like, I think people are correct in criticizing him. Now, how big of a deal is it? Well, that's kind of the main thing we're going to talk about in this video. Are we time to panic about Geno Smith? Not Geno Smith. Sorry, I just recorded a Geno Smith video. That's why I said that. Time to panic about Caleb Williams, or is it not? Well, first we have to talk about what happened. Well, it's going to start off with this play. Pretty simple concept. It's man coverage. Notre Dame is in. You're going to have Williams run a play action. You have a tight end going over the middle. Okay. Watch as Williams is going to run this play action. You have a defender who gets, pretty much straight through towards Williams. So that's not ideal, but you have a tight end who is wide open. So Williams is going to have to throw off balance, but at the same time, he has an open player. And also, to be clear, I'm going to assume some people end up clicking on this video who haven't heard of me before because I am covering a sport I don't typically cover, or I guess I should say a level of the sport I don't typically cover. I'm going to mostly focus on him at the NFL level and him as an NFL prospect. I'm not as interested in how he'll turn it around for USC to finish off this college season, more so what it could mean for him as an NFL player. And in the NFL, yes, this is pressure. You get pressured in the NFL pretty frequently. Williams' throw is wild, and it ends up getting intercepted, and that's not good, and that's something you're going to have to fix. You're going to have to learn how to deal with throwing, under pressure like that. Like, that is an issue, and that is something that I would categorize as a concerning interception. I would. Granted, yes, you can get pressured up the middle and still be a good NFL quarterback, even if you struggle at that aspect, and it is just one missed throw. Freaking out over it would be, crazy, but is it a bad play? Like, yeah, it's a bad play. There was also, a couple of them were things like this, where what's going to happen on this interception is, it's kind of an interesting play. So, and this is something that, again, I look at and say, yeah, at the NFL level, these are the mistakes that it's almost good you're making them now, so that when you get to the NFL, hopefully you won't have to make them as much. But these are things you do have to learn once you get to that level, where it's man coverage once again, have a receiver who's going over the middle. That's where Williams is going to eventually look towards. Watch as Williams takes the snap, a bit of a off snap, but he takes it anyway, scrambles out, and on paper, you see why he wants to make this throw. Like, this, of course, this makes sense. Yeah, there's, your receiver has like a step and a half on the defensive back covering him. Here's the issue. That player right there, you have two players that I've circled there, one USC player, one Notre Dame player. Well, the issue in this situation is you can still, make a play on the football. You're still standing there, right? And while not every college player does, some good college players do, and basically everyone at the NFL can. Watch him step in front and gets that interception. On top of it, it was a bit behind anyway, so that wasn't good. Again, was throwing, falling backwards, but again, it's at the NFL level, you're going to have to do that. So to me, this is a learning experience. This isn't anything concerning, in my opinion. These are young player mistakes you expect, so I'm not concerned about this one. And like this one's another one where it's going to be a zone coverage play. You have a receiver who's going to be going over the middle. Williams is going to take the snap, and it happens off screen, so we can't tell exactly what happened. They didn't show a good replay like they did on the last one, unfortunately. But you do see, it looks like the safety is actually the player who's crashing down and trying to undercut this route, which is, again, this is kind of the difficult thing of, like, you see, oh, hey, my receiver is beating the guy that he's going up against. I should throw it there. But sometimes, given the play concept, there's someone else who can still find a way to make the play. Again, as you see, it gets intercepted. That's not ideal. Again, I'm not overly concerned about something like that because for me personally, I do think he'll figure this stuff out. I just think that, these are growing pains and these are young player mistakes that you do have to learn. I think most young players make these mistakes, right? Trevor Lawrence made these mistakes. Patrick Mahomes certainly made these mistakes. Like, don't get freaked out, but it is mistakes and not every player does get over it also. That's also worth mentioning. And honestly, while he had 3 interceptions, it could have been worse. Sometimes you see 3 interceptions and then you're like, oh my God, what a disastrous game. And you go back and watch it, and like one was a tip pass, another one was a receiver running a wrong route, and like maybe only one was like an earned interception. This could have been even worse for Caleb Williams. This play, 3rd and 14, and you're down a good amount at this point, right? You're down 18 points, so got some work to do. Still plenty of time left, just starting the second half. Watch as Williams takes the snap, and you're going to see that, again, doesn't love what he sees down the field, 3rd and 14, let's just hit the check down. Sure, that makes sense, right? Well, you see that defender right there. Again, this is something that it's hard to blame a young quarterback on. Like being able to notice this stuff is really difficult, and with all the offensive linemen right in front of you, it's hard to be able to tell exactly who to hit and who not to hit. But Williams does, try to throw it there and ends up, that could have definitely been another interception there for Williams. So again, not concerning. If the question is, are these concerning? Only the first one, I'm really like, yeah, that was tough. The other ones are all like, okay, these aren't good plays, but if you like Caleb Williams, they shouldn't deter you from drafting him, I don't think. And I'll go over here too. He did make some really good throws. I did think for the most part, when he wasn't giving the ball directly to Notre Dame, basically every throw was catchable. That's what I'll say about Caleb Williams. Some were catchable to the wrong team, but he was throwing a lot of catchable footballs. This is one of them. It's a 2nd and 22. Zone coverage, receiver running over the middle. Hopefully he can get into a gap in coverage. Watch as Williams runs this play action. He's going to look over, and you see that there's a tight end who is open here. I just realized I screwed up that graphic earlier. Sorry about that. It was a tight end going over the middle, but same effect where, okay, what's Williams going to do here? Well, watch how he does get it over the players that are over in the middle. Really accurate throw. They're able to pick up a 1st down on 2nd and 22. He did this. He was running the offense pretty consistently well, like I said, when he wasn't giving the ball directly to the other teams. So, again, the good is still there with Caleb Williams. You still see that stuff. Also, this play where what's going to happen is it's going to be a design quarterback run. It's a 4th down and 1 situation, and I really thought that Williams did show off his athleticism pretty nicely in this game. Watch as Williams fakes the handoff. It works. It gets the contained guy all the way in. He tackled the running back, but doesn't matter. Running back doesn't have the football. You're now in a situation where Williams is going to try to get to the outside, but there are a couple of Notre Dame players who can run over and try and make a play, so it's not like a complete easy given win. However, you see Williams is going to be able to do a good job at not just picking up the 1st down, gains a few more yards after the fact, and he did this, I thought, relatively throughout this game, showing off his athleticism in a very real way and ran the offense very well, again, with the exception of 5 very bad plays. So what does this mean? What do we make of all of this from Caleb Williams? And listen, I haven't seen every snap from Caleb Williams' career. I'm sure before draft comes along, I will have done that. So, stay tuned this offseason for draft content and all of that. But at the end of the day, I think we all kind of know what this means. It's okay, it's a bit of a disappointing game, but he's still the consensus #1 overall pick, and he's still going to go #1 overall. Nothing that we saw in this is enough to, well, there might be some concerns now, nothing is enough to make you say, you know what, we can't draft this guy 1st overall. This game alone can't make you say that. Now, again, who knows? Maybe I'll watch the film and say, well, because of other reasons, you can say that, but I haven't watched all the tape yet. From what I have seen, it's very good. And what I saw in this game, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. There's no denying it. But as an NFL prospect, it's not concerning either. That's how I view it. But yeah, that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.